Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're going to be reviewing the Suicide Squad movie. I'm sure by now you've heard some people are saying it's the best DC movie ever, and then the critics are saying it's a total flop. And much like the other movies where the viewers and the critics have had two different opinions, I'm kind of in between. It's interesting. Most of the critics' complaints are valid. Maybe overstated, but they're valid. We're going to go through the list. I kind of wrote a couple of notes down just so I could have some talking points, but I'm going to keep it kind of just off the top of my head type of deal. I think I like that kind of video better. You guys can let me know what kind you like better. I don't really like to do the scripted ones. Anyway, the viewers, the regular everyday people are saying... Most of the people, it's like a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, 75% positive. They're saying it's a whole lot of fun. I liked it a lot. I loved this movie. So those things can't be wrong. I mean, those are all kind of like opinion-y type things, whereas critics are saying the plot sucked. Some of the writing sucked. Some of the other objective qualities sucked. They're not wrong. So neither side's really wrong. You can still like a movie that has these problems. And I tried to talk about that a little bit before. Some people say, nope, if you like the movie, then the movie's good. Well, it's enjoyable, but it's not on paper good. So we have to kind of balance the two when we're deciding what we like and what we want to do in terms of going to see it, in terms of giving a review. So on paper, there are plenty of problems with this movie. But on a more subjective plane, on that grounds... It's enjoyable. It's a pretty fun movie. So let's just get into it. Obviously, this movie was meant to be the lighter movie. It was supposed to lighten up, give some color to the DC universe. A lot of people, mostly critics, are complaining that the DC stuff is so dark. It's just too dark, which I don't know anybody that's complaining about that IRL. Like, it's not a problem. So I'm a little bit worried, and I think that the studios got involved a little bit too much, especially since they did a lot of reshooting to brighten this movie up. It still didn't feel like there were some comedic moments. Mostly, though, it was just the kind of comedic moment where you give like a little half smirk and then keep watching. It didn't help the movie, it didn't hurt the movie. I feel like it might have been better if the studio stayed out of it and just let it be what it was going to be. It didn't need to be that color, that injection of color into the universe. Didn't hurt it, didn't help it, didn't really matter. I feel like they kind of oversold it a little bit in terms of being that lively movie. Some of the characters obviously were, and we'll get to that, but it just didn't. It was just another one of the movies. It didn't feel like it was a special standout, like kind of like Deadpool. It didn't work that way, but it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't a good thing. That's just the way it was. All right, so moving on. Characters. This movie obviously revolves around the Suicide Squad, the characters, and we have a bunch of them. So really, it revolves around two characters. The rest are all there, and some of them are actually better than the others, but the two main characters are Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Now, I know you're thinking, what about Joker? Joker's in it. He should be a main character. We're going to set him aside because he's really not, and the other two definitely are. So let's start with Harley Quinn. Is it Harley Quinn? Yes, most of the time it feels just like a real-life version of Harley Quinn. The acting was fine. The writing was fine. Occasionally, some of the lines felt a little bit weird. Some of the occurrences in the movie felt a little bit weird. Oh, by the way, I always put it in the title anyway, but there will be spoilers in this review. Not that there's really much to spoil, to be honest, but there will be. So, Harley Quinn was good. I didn't mind her outfit. Some people say, I don't like the outfit, she's too sexy. It's like, she wasn't a sex object in any way, except for one scene, kind of, but it wasn't like the focus of the scene, and you'll see, it's not a deal. Anybody that's making it a deal, just ignore them. She looked fine. She acted fine. The only thing is, she's just Harley Quinn. So she has a baseball bat and a gun. She can fight a little, sure. She's a little bit acrobatic, sure. She doesn't really bring that much to the table. Like, they have these scenes where she's in this cell, inside this big room of cells, and it's like hypermax type security for Harley Quinn. I'm like, yeah, she's with the Joker. How is she a threat to guys with guns and body armor when she doesn't have any of that stuff? It was a little, they're kind of pushing it a little bit. Like, come on. We know it's Harley Quinn and she's awesome, but let's be real. She's not going to take out a squad of guys. Well, you took out 4 of my guys last time. Those guys must suck at their jobs. Okay, but it was fine. She fit in fine. She had some interesting scenes with the baseball bat, of course. It was fine. No problem. It was pretty good. I liked Harley Quinn. Deadshot. Will Smith. Obviously, he was going to be a focus. You can't put Will Smith in a movie without making him the focus. You're spending the money on the name. You need to put him in the movie. Will Smith is a good actor. I don't think anybody will argue that. Here's the thing, and it didn't really stand out to me so much in his films prior to this one. In most of his films, he's playing a character that's not already established. I mean, if he is, it's kind of a less established thing, except for Wild Wild West. That wasn't a new thing, and how did that turn out? So he kind of always acts like Will Smith in his movies, which is fine, and it works for the roles. In this, it didn't kill it for me, but it did feel a lot like they Will Smithized Deadshot. Instead of being Deadshot, it was Will Smith playing Deadshot. Do you get what I'm saying? It wasn't bad. The action scenes were good. You know he can carry a role, so it wasn't a problem like that. It just, some of the dialogue, some of the mannerisms, just the way he acted and talked, wasn't quite what I envisioned for Deadshot. Didn't hurt it, didn't help it. It was a thing. So, don't worry about that. It'll be, it was okay. The action parts with Deadshot, the shooting, that was all really good. When he put the mask on, when they showed those photos early on when they were starting filming, like, why does he have a sock on his head? That doesn't look like, I know Deadshot has a white hood, but it looks really weird. But no, in the movie it looks cool. The mask is really cool, actually, and it was fine. So, no problems there. Deadshot's a plus. Two main characters, pluses. It really revolves around them. But these side characters, which shouldn't really have been so much side characters, probably got paid a whole lot less, kind of stole the show. The first one I want to talk about is Captain Boomerang. I don't remember the guy's name who played him. I can never remember this guy's name. He's in the those Allegiant and Divergent movies as one of the bad guys, and he played Bruce Willis's son in the one thing, and whatever. You guys know who I'm talking about. Captain Boomerang in this movie, great. He did a great job. He was super funny. He had some interesting scenes. One thing that bugged me a little bit, his boomeranginess, that's not a word. He used his boomerangs occasionally. He had like one scene where he threw it and then he caught it a couple seconds later. He's like, that's what they do. Like, okay, that was fine. But that was like, he didn't do too much boomerang stuff. I kind of wish he did more. But he was really funny. He carried the role perfectly. One of the most enjoyable characters in the movie. I can't really explain why because you have to see him interacting, but very well done. Very enjoyable. I hope they can kind of like pare down this group to like make maybe offset movies with different people, because I think they had too many to really focus on some of these smaller characters, and it would have been nice to see him a lot more because he was really enjoyable in the movie. Next one is Killer Croc, which they said they didn't want to go with King Shark, so they went with Killer Croc, a little bit more believable character. He was pretty wasted. He had one scene where he went underwater, which was super forced, and we'll get to the plot points on that in a minute, but he didn't really do anything. He was just kind of like a bruiser in the bunch that didn't do anything. He had a cool voice, face looked cool, head was about twice as big as it should have been for the body because they used a normal human body and obviously a crocodile prosthetic head. So he was kind of a dud. Didn't add anything really to the film. Didn't have any good lines, really. Didn't really do much. He was kind of like, Killer Croc's in it. Put him over there. We don't... actors, Killer Croc. Let's separate them. It was disappointing. I wanted to see more Killer Croc, and they definitely should have CGI'd his body, or at least picked a guy who was really, like, buff and big to carry the role, because he's not in bad shape. He's in better shape than me, but it didn't match. Like, the head was this big, meaty head, and then body was just kind of like, didn't quite work, so it didn't kill the film, but it killed Killer Croc. It wasn't great for him. Next character is Katana. She's in this film, and she doesn't get a whole lot of limelight either. She's in it about as much as Boomerang, but what she is in is really cool. The way they did the mask and her kind of modernized outfit looks really good. The sword play is really good. She's enjoyable. She's actually Japanese, so she's speaking Japanese, and it's just... they handled the character well. It was very faithful and enjoyable, and I'd like to see her in another film. So that was a good thing. There's not a whole lot to talk about because she doesn't really do that much in the movie, but what she does do is really good. So that's a good thing. Next character is Diablo. This is the guy that has the tattoos all over and he has control of fire. And he's probably the best developed character out of the bunch. Here's the thing, is like they developed Deadshot, but I didn't feel that connection ever with him because he was still kind of like, I'm teetering on being a kind of a good guy, but I'm still kind of a bad guy, which they are, so that's fine. But Diablo actually made me feel for his situation, and he did a really good job in all of the scenes he was in. He was very enjoyable. The action scenes, the acting scene, everything, and he had kind of a bigger role than the other ones, so it's pretty good. He was probably number 3 important. Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and then Diablo. Harley Quinn and Deadshot can interchange. So he was really good. The tattoos looked awesome. He did a good job in the role. The fire effects were awesome. The thing at the end with his fire, I'm not going to spoil this because it's kind of a cool scene when it happens. But the thing he does toward the end of the movie to use his fire ability, really cool. So very good. I like Diablo a whole bunch. Most of the characters individually were really good. So lots of good stuff, like I said, in this movie, but then we'll get to the other problems in a second. So then we need to talk about Joker. Is this Joker going to be good? Is he going to be bad? Is he going to be the star of the film? Is he going to not? What's the deal? Joker got cut out a bunch, supposedly. We've heard this. No way to confirm it, I suppose. He was originally going to be in the film a lot more. They said, no, brighten it up. He's too dark. Cut him out. So that's supposedly what happened when they did the reshooting. Maybe it would have been different if he was in it, but to me, it felt like he didn't need to be in it at all. He did play a role in a couple of plot elements, which kind of mattered, but really didn't. So, in terms of being in the movie, he was inconsequential, really insignificant. Yes, he did have an impact, but he didn't need to. It didn't really progress anything. It didn't really do much. So it's kind of like just a way to get Joker on the screen so that he's there for when they need him for Batman or whatever else. So in terms of that, in terms of him being utilized, it wasn't a problem. It just wasn't anything special. He was barely in the movie, to be completely honest. He had a few scenes. Now, in terms of Jared Leto playing the Joker, I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. You guys know I don't read comics, so I don't know every version or every iteration of every character. I've heard that his portrayal is very much like some versions of the Joker. I have to say I'm not sold. It wasn't necessarily bad, it just really didn't feel like the Joker. It felt like a crazy guy, but not like the Joker. I don't know. And the whole thing with the grill and the tattoos and everything, it's not terrible, but it takes me out of it being Joker. Joker's always been kind of a classy guy, other than being deranged and evil. Every version I've known of him has always been the suit-wearing kind of classy guy, not this weird pimp, whatever he is now. I don't know. It's just, I think it could have been better. Overall, for the grand scheme of things, it could have been a better Joker. The way it is, it's not like it's bad, but it's just kind of like, it's very forgettable. It's not a memorable Joker in any way. So I don't know. I'm really curious for those of you that have seen it, what you think. It's kind of hard to say. Maybe going forward in the Batman standalone film, it'll be fleshed out a little bit more. So far, we don't know much about him. We get a little bit of backstory, and we get a few scenes to see him interact with people, but right now, he kind of just plays a mobster, like a gangster, more like a gangster, not a mobster. Really rich, apparently, and really powerful, really well-connected gangster that looks like Joker and acts kind of like Joker. So I don't know. I'm not sold on it. It didn't kill this movie, but let me know what you guys think. Okay, so most of the characters were good. We got that. It was a lot of fun to watch them interact. It was a lot of fun to watch them do things. But here's where the movie takes a big dive. The plot. I don't care what characters you have. If you don't have a good plot, or at least a basic plot, a minimal plot that will progress what they're doing, make it meaningful, it's not going to do well. This movie has almost no plot. Almost none. So the critics that are giving it a really bad score for that are not wrong. Should it be 20%? No. The movie's definitely higher than that. And if you want to ignore the fact that it has no plot, which is a valid argument, you can say it's still a lot of fun. There's still action with these heroes, with these people doing these things. I really enjoyed it. I'm giving it a high score. That's a valid argument. That's fine. But since we're doing a review, we have to talk about the fact, basically no plot. So you guys know the story for the Suicide Squad. They need to create this squad of metahumans to combat potential threats. At this point, there's no threat as far as they know. So they put together this team. She gets the approval. They put together this team. In doing so, they cause Enchantress, essentially, they cause her to become the main villain of this movie. Which I'm not sold on that in the first place, but the fact that they're forming this team creates the problem that they need the team for, kind of takes away the necessity, the validity of the whole thing. So it could have been so much better. I don't know what. It's not my job to write the stories. I just know that the one they wrote, it left us wanting by a whole lot. So then they have to stop Enchantress, and Enchantress, her whole objective essentially is very vague. She wants to take over the world because people don't worship her anymore. That's her general gist. It's very vague, very general, and how she's going to do it is by building this machine, she says. They worship machines now, I'm going to build one that will kill them. So I'm thinking, that's interesting. How's she going to build a machine with magic? So her idea of building a machine is to bring her brother back to life, who's just basically the big metal thing from Thor. I can't think of the name. Whatever. I cannot think of it right now. Okay, so she brings her brother back to life. He's like her, but basically has a big tendril like Nemesis and kills everything around. She needs his help basically to fight, I guess. It's very unclear. Anyway, her idea of building a machine is to have this mysticky stuff come out. We have lightning and a big Ghostbusters type of thing going on above this building and a swirling pile of garbage. And what's happening, nobody really knows. Is it ever explained? No, it's not. So she's got stuff going on up there. She's got stuff going on here. She's standing around doing stuff, not much of anything. Not a good bad guy. There's no objective other than she's building this machine by standing there, and it's going to kill everything, which they're going for that route again. It's going to kill everything, and it starts happening by the end. So DC, let's stop killing everything in every movie. Let's bring the stakes down just a little bit. Okay, so that's not the thing though, because you barely fight her. She's just standing there not doing much of anything. Same thing with the brother. There's a fight at the end. You'll see it. Inconsequential. She's able to turn people into these faceless zombie monster things with bubbles all over. During all the fight scenes, it just looks like guys in ghillie suits. Fighting hordes of literally faceless enemies is not the most interesting thing. You get to see the superheroes do things, or supervillains, whatever you want to call them, do things, which is fine, but it falls under the same category as Age of Ultron or Iron Man 3, where the bad guys, they're not interesting, so it takes a lot out of the film. So that was a problem. They were fighting faceless zombies, essentially. And here's the other problem. They even said in the movie, you can't shoot these things, it doesn't kill them. Our weapons are useless against them. Then, like 30 seconds later, they get into a gunfight with these things, and their guns are all effective. And it's not like Deadshot's shooting them special or anything like that. Everybody's shooting them and killing them. Hitting them with baseball bats, punching them, doing all kinds of things, and killing these creatures. Make up your mind. They can't be immortal and unable to be stopped with standard weapons, and then be stopped with standard weapons. So we have lots of plot holes like that. It's very frustrating. They even say a couple scenes later, they can survive getting shot in the head, when we just saw that they can't. So a lot of plot holes and no plot where should be plot is the problem. That's the thing that kills this movie. Otherwise, it's a lot of fun to watch. You're gonna have to decide if you wanna live with it or not. For me, it's right in the middle. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just blah. It fun to watch scenes up against no plot and no story. Some good lines, some bad lines. It didn't really accomplish anything for the DC universe other than making a new movie. So we'll see. Fingers are crossed for me for Wonder Woman. I think that's going to be the one that saves them, and then hopefully they can parlay that into Batman, into Justice League, get that momentum going, and get something that's substantial. So far, we just have a whole lot of mediocrity. It's not great. So, do I recommend it? I don't not recommend it. I think if you're a comic person, you should probably see it. You'll probably have a good time. Don't expect it to be heavy on plot. Don't expect it to have great writing. I don't mean dialogue. Most of the dialogue's fine. I just mean general writing, like this happens, then this happens. Like, for instance, in order to get Killer Crocus scene, they say, well, this tunnel's flooded. Our bomb that we're going to use is in this flooded tunnel. One, how do you know it's flooded? Why is it flooded? This is all weird. And two, why do you all of a sudden have the aquatic gear like flippers and tanks for the Marines? They didn't have that with them a minute ago, but they have it now. So lots of just little things like that. It's not great. It's not great, but it's not bad. So I guess we're going to leave it there. That was a long video, but I don't know. I kind of started talking and I couldn't stop. So if you made it this far, thanks for making it this far. I'm looking forward to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comment section. Did you like the movie? Didn't you like it? What did you like? And what didn't you like? And what are you looking forward to going forward? What do you think of Joker? What do you think of Batman? He's going to have a movie soon. What do you think of Wonder Woman? All this kind of stuff. Let's have a discussion in the comment section below. This movie might be forgettable, but it's probably worth watching if you want a good time without having to think too much, because there's nothing really to think about. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe. I have new videos up every single day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.